The 5 stars of this month changed and impacted the way I'm gonna think about contemporary romance from here on out. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maddie and this is my April wrap up. I read 8 books in April and I could not be more happy with the books that I read. I feel like I've gotten into this good groove with my books where I'm reading based off my mood, not necessarily planning out like every single book that I read. It's been really, really refreshing and nice. And I feel like this month there were so many new releases and it was great to get my hands on some because there was a lot of like hype surrounding them. They were just a bunch of fun books this month. Just like every wrap-up video that I do, I'm going to start with my lowest rated book of the month all the way to my highest rated book of the month. So if you only want to look at my 4 and 5 star reads, use the timestamps down below. I actually didn't have any book this month under a 3.5 star, which I feel like for 8 books, that's pretty dang good. Let's start off with the 3.5 category, and the first book in that category, The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. This is the second book in the DNA Duo series, duology. The first book is called The Soulmate Equation. I read that maybe 2 years ago now, and I didn't love that one. I think I gave that one 2.5 or 3 stars. That's exactly how I felt about this one. I just liked this one a little bit more. Connor is a filmmaker and the company that he works for right now isn't very profitable. It's not doing so well. So Connor's boss asks him to start filming a reality TV show to kind of make some more money, I guess. Connor takes it upon himself to create a reality TV show. He reaches out to the one and only famous romance author Felicity Chen, otherwise known as Fizzy. That's kind of what her friends call her. I loved Fizzy's banter. Fizzy was so fun, like one of the most fun female romance characters ever. She was so relatable and goofy and had no shame in being a romance author, even though that she kind of gets like hate on for writing romance books. I loved Fizzy and I really liked their banter. I did listen to the audiobook of this. I'm going through a phase right now where every single audiobook is pissing me off. I don't know what it is. I think romance specifically, some narrators sound really whiny. And then when I listen to the book and the main character, Fizzy, she's so like spunky and funny and witty, but then the narrator makes her sound really whiny. I hate it. So I think that honestly that might have dropped like a full half point for this book for me. Like I'm glad that I gave it 3.5 because I would absolutely recommend it to you guys, but it could have gotten a 4 if I had just physically read it. So I think I'm taking a break from audiobooks for a little bit. I used to do like 4 or 5 audiobooks a month, so I don't know what's going on. It's a phase. Hopefully I get out of it soon. Let's scooch these over so you can see the finished. The next book that I read was also 3.5 stars, and that was When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I finished this the other day. I have weird feelings towards this book. I don't know how to feel because on one hand, I loved it, devoured it. For romantasy, it was exactly what I liked and what I wanted and what I needed. But on the other hand, our main character, Rave, I had a really hard time trusting her. She was a hard character to like and trust, and I'm gonna use that word a lot, but I feel like when you read, especially a fantasy book, you have to trust your main POV, and she was our main POV. She was the main character. Everything was surrounded around her, and I felt like she was the most flighty character I've ever read in before. Like I was nervous for the other characters in this book because of her behavior, and I didn't like that. But I loved the fantasy element, the side characters, the plot, and the world building. Like this is a fantasy book and I adored those aspects, but I had a really tough time getting behind our main character. I do plan to read book 2. I just hope that Rave's character development in book 2 is phenomenal, because from the beginning of this book to the end of this book, 0 character development. It just wasn't my absolute favorite. I hope that maybe the second book I can rate higher because I want to like Rave. Getting to the 4-star category this month, The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. Miss Holly Jackson never fails. She never fails. But I already did a review on this book that you can go watch over here, so I'm not gonna get into too much detail. Like I'm gonna be doing reviews on my channel now, which I feel like I do review books in these videos, but now new releases are gonna get like individual videos. So The Reappearance of Rachel Price, absolutely adored this book. I had so much fun. I think Holly Jackson knows how to keep you on your toes. Was on the edge of my seat by the last 100 pages. I don't think these books are predictable because I'm the most gullible person ever. So I don't know. Loved this one, but go watch that video if you want the full review. Do they have to do trash right now? Okay. Trash is gone. Now, let's talk about the second book that I rated 4 stars this month. Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Oh, so fun. Misery is our main female character in this, and she is a vampire. And Lo is our main male character, and he is a werewolf. Misery and Lo live in a world where they are politically divided, the werewolves and the vampires, and then humans as well. But Lo and Misery got married out of forced shit. They had an arranged marriage. Holy crap, okay. To kind of keep the peace between the two species. Misery acts all big, bad, and tough, but she is so mushy and sweet on the inside and has deep feelings for the people around her. I loved seeing her inner dialogue. I think she's really genuinely funny. I laughed out loud so many times during this book because of her humor. This is also a paranormal romance, so there's some things in there that maybe aren't like typical in an Ali Hazelwood contemporary romance, if you know what I mean. I'm not gonna spoil anything. The next category is 4.5 out of 5 stars because I go by half ratings if you guys can't tell, which this was the first book. Oh my god, come on. This was the first book that I read in April. I finished it. It's a brick of a book. It's dense. It's only 800 pages. Oh my god, I was gonna be like, it's over 1,000 pages. It's not. It's just a really big freaking book. Heat of the Everflame by Pin Cole. This is book 3 in her Spark of the Everflame series. Book 4 comes out in June. I've talked about this series nonstop on my channel already and my Bookstagram. You guys are probably tired of hearing about it, but if you haven't read it yet, you need to, and I want you to. And this is me asking you to pick up this book because Luther is your next book boyfriend, book husband. The next book that I rated 4.5 out of 5 stars was, funny story, I read it on my Kindle. I have all of Emily Henry books in paperback, so I refuse to buy any in hardcover, and that is a personal problem. I have like a really tough relationship with Emily Henry. I've loved her books, but I also have not loved some of her books. So I think it's just like this one, it was kind of a tiebreaker. Am I gonna like this author or not? And probably my top one from her, actually People We Meet on Vacation. That's a tough one. I think People We Meet on Vacation I gave 5 stars. This one I gave 4.5. So technically I like People We Meet on Vacation better, but I read that 3 years ago. So maybe my thoughts have changed. I might have to reread that soon just to see where my rankings are with Emily Henry. You guys are gonna hate me, but I also did a book review on this book as well, so you guys can go watch that. But Miles and Daphne happen upon each other and become roommates under some really unfortunate circumstances, and that whole plot, describing it, it's a little confusing. So I'm gonna let you watch that book review video, but I did thoroughly enjoy this book. This one was a lot more fun of an Emily Henry book to me. They aren't fun, in my opinion. They're like sad, and the main female characters go through so much growth and development, which I love, but again, there's not a lot of like fun things going on, where this book had a lot of like fun dates and humor, and the side characters were so goofy in this one. Now we're getting to the 5 stars. The 5 stars of this month are probably gonna make it into the top 5 of the year. I cannot tell you how much these books have now changed and impacted the way I'm gonna think about contemporary romance from here on out. First 5-star read was Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Don't come at me, Emily Henry lovers, but this one seemed like a more fun version of this. Like they go on dates, it's a summer romance. They're like getting to know each other by going on like outings and stuff. Like, I don't know, it just seemed a little similar. I also filmed a YouTube new release video for this one. Abby Jimenez, I mean, like stole my heart with Justin and Emma. The meet cute that happened at the very beginning, so funny. And then the end, because this is a part of like the standalone series, like with all of the interconnected standalones, wow. Was not expecting what happened and like so blown away and shocked by this book. I adored it. I could not recommend this book more. Last one in my camera. I'm almost out of minutes on my SD card. Okay, Reckless by Elsie Silver. I also gave this book 5 stars. Theo Silva is now my new #1 in Chestnut Springs. Like, he was everything I needed in a book boyfriend and more. I don't know what it was, but I was heartbroken for him in this scenario, in this plot, in this book, and I think that just made my attraction to him and like attraction to the scenario that they were in way more than I thought it would be. And Winther Hamilton is Nesta. And if you understand understand Nesta from ACOTAR, you will understand and love Winter Hamilton. Like, Nesta is one of my favorite characters from that series because she's so misunderstood, and so is Winter. She can finally like open up and like be herself around him, and she's never had that before in a person. So good. So good. 5 stars. This month it was great too. That's all that matters. Okay, that is it for April. I feel like I had such a wonderful month. Like, this is gonna be really hard to beat. Preparing May and June to like not live up to this, but we're gonna see. There's some more really fun new releases coming out soon, so I'm excited for those. If you wanna support me, please like and subscribe. It means the world. Okay, bye.